Good morning and welcome to another edition of Wrestle Talk Show. I'm here again, your host Joshua Zimmerman, bringing you the latest and greatest in wrestling news, bits, rumors, ins and outs, anything wrestling. We cover it, and we also cover the things that the promotions don't want you to know. Um, hi again, folks. I'm your host again, Joshua Zimmerman, avid wrestling fan since '99, Pennsylvania State Wrestling promoter since 2005. Like we do with every show, I want to thank our YouTube audience and our general audience for making this such a success. I want to emphasize again, it's great to see that we're hitting the demographic. 25 to 34 is our biggest turnout. You guys have 30% of the overall demographic. Second place goes to the 45 to 54-year-old demographic, and that is both male and female. But regardless, we want to thank you for the time you take to watch our videos. And again, if at any time there's a topic or you don't agree with something I say or you have something to add, don't don't hesitate to call me out on it. You can send direct emails to cwecompany@gmail.com, or you can visit the show's website at wrestletalkshow.webs.com. There you'll find a fully interactive forum with current questions, current news, updated this morning, by the way, about 20 minutes ago. Um, and there you'll be able to voice your opinion and have it heard, and we'll implement it into the shows so that there's product for the shows. This way you get your name out, we get something to talk about. Not that wrestling doesn't give us enough, but this is a fan-driven show. We want to interact with you, the wrestling fan. What do you want in your wrestling? What are you tired of your wrestling? We want to know. Let's move right into the ratings. For the last 48 hours of wrestling, WWE Superstars scored a 0.65 cable rating with 658,000 viewers. The replay, which aired later on Thursday night, scored a 0.23. So I think it's safe to say about 870 some thousand people viewed this, because you figure TNA's bad enough. Nobody's going to watch the initial and then be the same audience that watches the replay, I don't think. So I think it's safe to say that the 0.23 with 221,000 views were people that couldn't catch it until that time, or maybe there was nothing better on TV. It's kind of hard to judge with the ratings anymore, considering, like a fellow colleague said on a different program, smartwrestlingfan.com, TV is not just on TV anymore. We're watching TV from our mobile phones, our computers. So when the ratings come out, are they judging it just from TV, I wonder? Or are they gaining a broadcast audience from whatever you're on? If they're only judging it from physical TV viewers, I think they might be missing out on a lot of fans that are watching, and a rating that could improve or downsize the current rating it gets. Moving on, TNA Reaction scored a 0.7 following Thursday night's Impact. And you gotta wonder, I believe it was a 0.8 last week, and they attributed that to the fact that Impact is doing the Raw thing where it goes 5 or 10 minutes after it's supposed to be done, and then you conclude your main event in theory on Reaction. But if it went back to business as normal, where nothing gets explained, the 0.7 is merited and understandable. Moving right into news, WrestleMania tickets went on sale this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wrestlers like Triple H, HBK, and Steamboat have spent this week promoting in the host city of Atlanta, Georgia, promoting the event and selling tickets. just to give you an idea on how the last two WrestleManias went sales-wise. Um, November 2009, WWE sold an estimated 35,000 tickets in the first weekend that WrestleMania went on sale. In 2008, they sold 40,000 tickets for WrestleMania 25 in Houston, Texas. WrestleMania 26 was in Arizona, by the way. I put it on the website, but is anybody noticing? Maybe it's people that are late getting to it, but is anybody noticing that 2009 you score 35,000, but in 2008 you scored 40,000? Is this to assume that because of the poor overall poor product and not having an interest in the product, because like I said in previous videos, Vince makes money in other areas. So when we gave you that pay-per-view breakdown the other night, is this yet again the flagship of WWE? Are we to assume that in a year there was a difference of 5,000 fans in debut ticket sales, like for the weekend that it went on sale? WrestleMania is its flagship, so if this is an indicator that sales are going down, then maybe not too many people have hopes for WrestleMania. I guess it all depends on what they do at Survivor Series, King of the Ring, and where it follows from there. I'd think that King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania should still be your consistents, but they're not, as we've mentioned in other videos. Some of the structured pay-per-views don't bring what to the table what they used to bring. Moving on, TMZ reports that Bret Hart Thursday or Friday night lost his ring gear in Germany. Apparently his trademark sunglasses and jacket were not returned backstage once he concluded his match. The WWE does not feel that anyone within the company was responsible, but doesn't feel that anyone within the company was responsible, but the search continues. And on that note, Bret Hart is set to wrestle tonight in Mannheim, Germany. TNA and wrestler Eric Young come to terms on his performance contract. They reached a new deal. That's all we know. It's unconfirmed whether or not he settled for the rumored pay cut that he was looking at. WWE and ROH both on tour this weekend. WWE in Germany, obviously, and ROH is out and about, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't know it was a tour. I just thought it was survival of the fittest. But we will have those full details for you on the next video. And let's venture down this road. Do you think, with the Undertaker injury, by the way, those who didn't see last night's video or the news lately, WWE wrestler Undertaker is out for 4 to 6 months after shoulder surgery. Doctors estimate that he either will be able to wrestle, which they're kind of doubting, he'll have a limited match, or worst case, he won't be there at all. And like we mentioned last night, there are WrestleManias that he's missed, and Mania has gone on without a problem. But with how much Kane and Undertaker feud they're starting, do you think that WrestleMania will suffer because of it? Because if you listen to our last couple videos, The company did have a plan on going back and forth with Kane and Undertaker. We believed that would peak at WrestleMania. So, with this unexpected downtime, first of all, I'm interested to see as the weeks progress how they kind of make that storyline go away now that The Undertaker isn't there. Does The Undertaker come out and you play it off like he got injured during a match, or do you play it like the dead man is dead again? I wonder where they're going to go with it. But my main question in this and the actual segment is, can WrestleMania be successful without an Undertaker streak match, or without The Undertaker in general? And if you want my opinion, which you're going to get it whether you want it or not at this point, um, the Undertaker Kane feud sells itself. They've always been able to go back to it. They've had them be friends, they've had them be enemies, they've had them be enemies again. It never seems to get stale with the overall audience, but in my opinion, he Undertaker can wrestle. We were talking over the last couple months about him getting older when he returned from the broken nose, thanks to Rey Mysterio a couple months back. Um, he's obviously showing signs of aging, which they all do. But could this be, in your opinion, could this be a way to kind of retire the Undertaker? Um, it's unconfirmed where he wants to go after the shoulder surgery. It's safe to assume his loyalties have always been with WWE, but it's safe to assume he'll try and come back. But my question is, again, the focus is at his age and how much he actually has left in the tank. Would this be a good way to kind of come back and then say, look, guys, I gave you 17 years of my best, and it's come to an end. Um, I believe these injuries were less than, well, it's unconfirmed that the shoulder's from an injury, but he's given his best for 17 years instead of hurting himself more, where he's still able to walk and enjoy time with his new wife. Could this be an outlet for him to say, come back after the surgery and say, you know what, I'm I'm done, or kind of become more of a voice of SmackDown instead of a competitor, kind of like with what Mick Foley wants to do with TNA. On news with that, like we said, Mick Foley wants to talk with the company about doing other things other than wrestling. He doesn't feel that he should be wrestling for a while, but that's just in the hat with all the older veterans slash legends. Uh, so you tell us what you think. Do you think that WrestleMania, and given what WWE's produced in product over the last couple months, do you think it'll make that big of a difference if the worst case scenario should happen and Undertaker is not at WrestleMania where he made his career? Will that influence whether or not you purchase the pay-per-view? I'd like to think not, because it's the flagship of WWE. Even if you only order one pay-per-view a year, it's safe to say that it's probably going to be WrestleMania. But you tell me. Post your details on WrestleTalkShow.webs.com. Send us an email at cwecompany@gmail.com. Be sure to look for exclusive updates on both our Facebook and Twitter accounts at facebook.com/CWEcompany and twitter.com/CWEcompany. Until next time, be sure to stay tuned and keep up to date, as we'll be out with another video as soon as more interesting news comes up. Thank you, and I hope you all have a great weekend.